Hi Math 65. This is the video for lesson 117, which is located on page 603 in your textbook and is scheduled for Monday, April 20th. I'm going to bring your textbook up. If you have it, grab it, because let me make sure I get it all on screen here. At the bottom of page 603 is a little chart, and these are all things you have learned, but it puts it in one little place. And it's regarding decimals. That's what 117 deals with. It deals with decimals. So I wanted to go over this chart real quick and explain it to you, because it's kind of a neat little, it's like a tool for how to handle decimals in all the different ways we've learned. So across the top, it tells you the operation you're doing. And for example, if you're adding or subtracting decimals, your big takeaway is you have to line up those decimals to add or subtract, and you may have to fill those empty places. Remember, you can put as many zeros as you need after, and it doesn't change the value of the number. So that's your big takeaway for adding and subtracting, is be sure that you line up those decimals or place a decimal point on the end of a whole number or whatever is needed, and fill in zeros as needed, but line them up. For multiplication with decimals, we didn't have to line up our decimal numbers, so that was different. We multiplied them. Some of them we just pretended like they were whole numbers, multiplied them, and then we counted our number of decimal places here plus here, and that told us how many decimal places we needed in our answer. Okay, now today we're going to be dividing decimals by a whole number, and when you do that, the big important thing that you must remember is just take that decimal point and move it straight up to your answer, to where the quotient sits. So just bring it straight up to the top. Okay? So we're going to do some examples like this today. All right, 117, we have our first example is 4 8/10 divided by 2. So when we start, we can cover up that 8 and start with the problem. Let me put too much shadow on it. There we go. Start with 4 divided by 2. And we know that goes 2 times. Oh, wait, I already messed up. Look at that. My first order of business is take this decimal and move it straight up. There you go. That's your first step for division with a decimal. Okay, now I can start dividing. 4 divided by 2, I break my 2 times 2 is 4. I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to bring down my 8. Now I'm not worried about the decimal down in here, because I already brought it straight up, so I'm not worried about it right now. I don't have to bring it down into this. Okay, so 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract, and I end up with 0, and there is nothing to bring down. So my answer is 2 4/10. My most important step, and the one that I forgot at first, was bring that decimal up on this problem. Okay, let's look at another. Okay, we have 42 hundredths divided by 3. Bring the decimal straight up. I know I can go ahead and put a 0 in, because I'm going to divide it into 4 to start with. 4 divided by 3, 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. Subtract. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down 12. Now I have my new division problem. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. Subtract, and I have a 0. I have nothing else to bring down, so my answer is 14 hundredths. Okay, my next one, 15 hundredths divided by 3. The first thing I have to do is set it up as a division box on this one. So remember, this is my dividend. It goes under. This is my divisor, and it goes out. Okay, so now First order of business is to bring that decimal up. And I can put my 0 in because I'm dividing into 1 here. 1 divided by 3, 0 times. 0 times 3 is 0, and I subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. Bring down 5. Okay, so now I have a new division problem. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Subtract 0. I have nothing more to bring down, so my answer is 5/100ths. Okay. Now this one, we have 24 10,000ths. Remember, we just learned that a few lessons ago, all the way to the 10,000ths place, divided by 3. So again, this is my dividend. So it's going underneath the box. Dividend goes in. I know that's kind of a silly way to remember it, but end and in kind of sound alike if you are me. So dividend in the box. Divisor, remember, is like the scissors. It cuts it outside the box. Okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna, my first step, bring that up and bring my first 0 up. Okay, so I know with the zeros, I can bring the decimal point straight up and go. So on this one, if I can work it through, and I'll go ahead and work it through. We'll work it through together. Okay, so 0 divided by 3, 0. 0 times 3 is 0. Subtract 0. I have and I brought down my next 0. 0 divided by 3, 0. 0 times 3, 0. Subtract. Bring down. Now I have 0, 2. Okay, so now I have my new division problem. 2 divided by 3 is 0. 0 times 3, 0. Subtract 2. Bring down 4. And I'm going to run out of space. Let me get some more paper below here. There we go. Now I have a new division problem. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. Subtract 0, and there is nothing more to bring down. So in this one, my answer is 8 10,000ths. Now, on this one, you could have done it mentally. Let me show you mentally over here. You have 24 10,000ths divided by 3. So for a second, just pretend that's a whole number. 24 divided by 3 is 8. And you know, in your original division problem, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal points. So right now, that decimal's sitting right there. That's 0 decimal points. I need 4. So I have to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal points and fill it in with zeros. So when I do that, that would look like 1, 2, 3, 8. This number is the same as that number. Okay? You can do it either way, whichever one you're most comfortable with. If you are comfortable with doing it mentally, something simpler like this, you know, all of these, mostly like these could have been done mentally, but working it out long division is perfectly fine too. Whichever one gets you to the right answer, I'm totally happy with, and whichever one you understand best. Okay? We've done a lot of long divisions, so this might be where you are most comfortable, and if so, you should do it that way. Okay. The practice problems for this lesson, let's see, I'll write it over here. Lesson practice problems are on page 605. And it's A through M on those. Okay, there'll be a video coming for lesson 118 soon. Bye, guys.